I think this is exactly how we started the last video.
It doesn't sound like us.
No, not at all. Hi everybody, welcome to our rescheduled or differently scheduled live chat. We're here with Miss Ingrid, and I am Sarah, and not another hat, and we are here to talk about all things Fall Into Brioche Knit Along. And on my last video, I stared the entire time at the wrong end of the iPad, and so I want to make sure. Does it look like I'm looking right at the camera right now? Okay,
does, yeah.
all right.
That's where I'm supposed to look too, because I'm looking like up.
It's really irritating to me to look at that video and see that I'm steering over at the wrong direction the entire time. Details.
You can just say it's the newest yarn you're staring at.
I can't take my eyes off
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
So, I hope that you're here because you are participating. And if you're here because you're on the fence about participating, I hope that this puts you right over the edge, jumping on in. And if you have any reasons that you have not signed up yet, any hesitations, please email them to us so we can either help you get going with your brioche skills, help you pick the right project, whatever your hesitation is for not participating. Everyone who does sign up to participate gets a 10% off coupon to do their shopping for their materials, so added incentive. And it's a knit along that we'll be hosting over Zoom with Miss Ingrid here, kicking off on Wednesday, September 14th at 12 noon Pacific time. So all of those knit along meetups will be recorded, and the recording links will be sent out, so you don't have to worry if you can't make it live. You can always catch up later. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm doing double duty because Julia is out, and I am going to go over here real quick. Why don't you talk to me about brioche, Ingrid?
If you're thinking, I want to join the knit along, but I still don't even know how to knit brioche, there are either 3 or 4 spots left open in the September 7th class. So if you want your introduction to brioche, then September 7th is the day for you, and it's in the late afternoon or evening, depending on your time zone. So, but it will also be recorded. So if that was something you couldn't do live, the class will be recorded. So if you just need to know how to do brioche to join us, please take the class.
I am popping a link right now in for the class. So I just put the class link into the chat there with the comments, and I also put a link into our blog post, which talks about your 5 patterns you can choose from to participate in the knit along, and it also has the very important sign up link at the bottom. You will need to officially sign up to get the coupon and to get the Zoom links in order to participate. So, woohoo! All right, so we've each pulled several yarn options for the various projects, and we're going to show those all off and talk about everything. And we're going to go kind of in order from the most simplest projects to the more intermediate projects. So we'll kick it off maybe with the one we don't have,
or even if you're taking this Saturday's class of Introduction to Brioche, or if you are going to take the September 7th one, same Introduction to Brioche, you have an option of knitting an infinity scarf, a cowl, or even a shorter version if you just want like a headband, if you're just knitting your object. And if that's the object you want to just keep working on in the knit along, then by all means, it's definitely a good first project. And this is worsted weight yarn, and how big your item is going to depend on how much yarn you want. But actually, I'll grab mine. I have
Mindy asked if the club gets the discount. Mindy, for this, it's open to everybody, so anyone who signs up gets the email with the discount code. So all you have to do is sign up on our blog post, and then it'll trigger you to get an email from us that has the code in it so that you can shop with the code.
Excellent. I do recommend, especially if you're beginning or maybe you've done a brioche project before but you're doing one again, if you do 2 colors, make them very contrast, like not similar in color, or if you use a variegated but you're pulling out a color that's in it, it makes it really hard to read your stitches. So something that is strikingly different helps out. So this would be an Ingrid combo if I was doing one of these projects again.
Okay, so Mindy clarified. She was asking about the discount on the class. So your club discounts are on virtual courses with me, and classes taught by Ingrid are their own separate thing through the shop. So the club discount on courses is for virtual courses in our online platform. Live classes with Ingrid are not included in the discount code. So thank you for clarifying. That's a good question. Okay, so that would be stuff to do for the class that's coming up. And then there's also, we're missing one sample to show you in person, and that's the hat.
And it's in Michelle Bernstein's book.
We love Michelle Bernstein's book. You can order them through us. We have links in our blog post. It's a really great book for learning. So if you're just new to brioche, it's a fantastic resource. It's going to take you through a skill building of different brioche skills. It's called Brioche Knit Love. We have links to that on our website. Maybe I'll pop in a link real quick. You can tell them about the hat.
Excellent. So she even came in, Not Another Hat hosted Michelle, is that a year, 2 years ago?
Last fall, I think.
To do an in-store signing. And so I was fortunate enough to catch her for that. But this is the Hello Brioche hat. If you have the Pearl Soho pattern from the Introduction to Brioche class, then there is a hat in that pattern as well. If you just want to get your feet wet, still knit in the round and start with a hat. So this is the Hello Brioche hat, and she has matching mitts in here too with that hat. And it is, you could do it in worsted weight or Aran weight. She gives you 2 gauges to choose from.
My yarn fell down.
Half my samples are in my yarn basket, so we'll be separating and mixing and diving and bouncing a lot.
Bert, it is a great book. It's got lots of beautiful patterns, and again, it's just a really good skill builder, so it can take you from beginning on as far as you want to go.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so the hat. I'll show you my choices for the Hello Brioche hat. I have Malabrigo Rios in Purpuras, which is $8.72, and I have Dream in Color Classy in Whetstone, and I just think those are very, very gorgeous together.
Ooh,
what about you?
So the pattern is written for one color in the book. However, if you are on the beginner end of brioche, I would recommend doing 2 colors because that will help you read your stitches, know the difference, and I think it creates a cool look. So that is why I originally grabbed these, and this is Rios in Streza and Pearl 10.
Lovely.
If you are not a superwash person, you want something that's not superwash, Lannis, Barocco Lannis is a lovely yarn. And gold is not in my wheelhouse. Don't love it on, but I know it's in many wheelhouses. Yes, so a good gold is important. And Lannis, of course, comes in, I don't even know how many colors.
50?
So many options.
I don't know. It's a lot.
If you don't want superwash, this is a good one to go with.
Yes.
That would be true for all the Introduction to Brioche projects,
yes,
too.
Right.
All right.
Does that cover the hat?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check.
Only 3 things have fallen.
What's next? The
Cuddle Me
Brioche.
All right. So Cuddle Me Brioche is a pattern I designed, I'm not really sure how many years ago, maybe 2018 or something. And it's basically like a shoulder cozy, but in brioche fashion. So you're knitting it in the round.
Squishy.
And you only have 1 round of decreases. So if you're looking to add one more thing to your brioche rather than just brioche in the round, this has a decrease. But and this one is done with a 2-color Italian cast on, which is definitely a trickier feat to do. And if you have any of Nancy Marchand's books or you look at her brioche website, she has excellent tips and tricks on even how to use a lifeline when doing a 2-color Italian cast on, and I use her book every single time I do it. But I do love just looks like it starts right into it, and then I did the same with the bind off.
And we'll talk about Nancy's book in just a minute, so
Yeah.
if you have questions about that.
This
Beautiful.
is that same project, but I did it with a twisted German cast on and then a regular bind off or a stretchy bind off. So you can see it has a defined edge, whereas this one doesn't. But same thing, knit in the round, you have 2 sets of decreases, but really you could make it as tall or big or whatever it is you want. So Cuddle Me Brioche is this one.
And I know you're not all here to molest Ingrid in person, but it's extremely squishy. Extremely squishy.
I do wear this one a lot.
Yeah, it's really comfy. So yarn
is a heavy worsted or chunky weight yarn, and it's a size 9 needle. If you wanted more drape to it, I'd go up a needle size or choose, like these are wool and alpaca yarns. This is Barocco Mercado, so it's all wool, so you could also change to something that has like silk or linen if you want a little more drape, or change your needle size to add a little drape.
All right, so I picked out some brand new, hot out of, actually it was not even out of the box yet, yarn, for my combo for Cuddle Me Brioche. And so this is Barocco Wizard, which as you can see is a color changing yarn. And we love color changing yarns in brioche. And I've paired it up with Vintage Chunky in 6180, which I think might be something plum. I'm sorry I don't know the name of this wizard yet because I literally just pulled it out of the box, but the color number is 2954. It is on our website.
I just like, oh,
the book link was a hack. The book link should be okay. Sorry, we don't have Julia here to check stuff, Cheryl. I'll look into it in a minute. So anyway, I chose this dark purple because it's not exactly in the colors in this skein, so I know it'll be contrasting at all times. This skein has a lot of colors, but this one didn't seem to be one of them. So that's kind of what you want to go for, right, when you're choosing something that complements but is not in the same color. Yeah. I'll look at Cheryl's thing here, and you can talk about your choices.
Right. So what I tried to do when I was thinking of yarns for each of the projects is think of yarns that I would use if I want the item to be warmer, like I'm maybe in a cooler climate or I want to wear it in a cooler winter, and then yarns that would be good if I lived in a warmer climate or if I run hot and I like lighter things anyway. So Wizard, it was one of my first choices too. It's a wool yarn, so that's something if you're looking for a warmer item. But Barocco Remix is great. This is Barocco Remix Chunky, is a great yarn if you want it to be multi-season or if you want something that's actually cooler in temperature and a little lighter in weight. And of course, these are my colors. I don't know their names either, but a charcoal and a teal, because if you haven't noticed, that's pretty much my, like, oh wait, in my dress. I mean, you know, come on. So
we all show our true colors.
I tried to bring out gold already. I'm trying, but yeah, I definitely, it's not hard to pick me out. So anyway, Remix Chunky is a great choice.
Awesome. Oh, I'm gonna have a really hard time. I know I'm casting on the poncho. I think the poncho's next. I know I'm casting that on, but there's really, I want to make all of these, and so I know this is going to be a really hard to focus situation for me.
I'm sure you'll have time to get 2 or 3 done, though, right?
Sure.
Because you know, that's usually how it happens.
Yeah, why not? I think I said the same thing during the shifting it along. Yeah. Okay, brand new pattern, you guys.
Just released today. So if you're on Ravelry, I just released this pattern today on Ravelry.
I'm going to share the link right now.
Called G&B Poncho. G&B for garter and brioche and poncho. And this is a style of poncho I like because I can wear it 3 different ways. And this one I knit in silks and linens with just a smidge of wool and a smidge of nylon, so that it's all seasons for me. And I actually made it and knit it last winter, so I have been wearing it quite a while before actually taking the time to write it up and make it a pattern that others can use too.
It's your prerogative.
But, yeah, exactly. Yes. But this is knit flat and then seamed at the end. So the reason, if we're going in order from easiest to more challenging, knitting brioche flat is kind of just adds a layer of and level of steps to do. So this has no increases or decreases. So if you're wanting to knit flat or still getting your feet wet while you're knitting flat, this is a great option. And your cast on is going to be, well, I recommend a twisted German, but you could do long tail if you wanted, because it starts with garter and ends in garter. So you don't have to figure out anything fancy for the brioche, and you can make it as long as you want it, as wide as you want it, narrow, short, whatever. So lots of options,
really
completely customizable. Yeah. And then again, what yarns you choose. I held 2 sport weight yarns together throughout the entire thing. So it looks multicolor and is, but I had 5 yarns and 6 combinations, which I do explain in the pattern. But you could also then just use a worsted weight yarn because I used a size 7 needle. So
so yeah, your options then are combinations of worsted weight yarns. This would be a really good stash diving project, or holding various sport weight yarns together throughout and then mixing and matching those combos.
Yes.
Cannot wait.
Yes.
Okay, well, since I can't wait, I'm going to show you what yarns I picked. Where'd I put them? Okay.
I can't wait. I haven't seen your choices for this, so.
I actually,
oh.
Nope,
you're in my wheelhouse.
I know, I'm in your wheelhouse. Get out of my bathtub.
Totally.
So I ended up on I'm kind of in between sport and fingering here. Some of these are heavier fingerings, and then I'm also kind of like Lana Slide's sportish, but also fingering. So I'm all over the map. But this is my combo. So this is Knitted Wits, brand new yarn that we just got in the non-superwash fingering. This is Dusty Sophisticate, which is like a beigey color with a tinge of purpley pink to it. And then this, I'm going to hold mohair throughout. Mood Ring Vintage Sari. This is Tosh Impression. And then I've got my Lana's Light, which is new, which is kind of like a heavy fingering. And then I've got Dream and Color Classy in Skipping Stone. So very, very like kind of one note in colors, but as they change and mix together, I think it'll be really fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. So I grabbed a couple things, and the first one I tried to grab was like if I was going to recreate this, the closest to it is I stashed Dove and then bought like one or two new. So if I was trying to recreate it.
Before you show your yarns, Asha's got a really good question. Could you do a provisional cast on and a 3-needle bind off? You're actually well, you should explain it. It's yours.
Yeah, so you don't seam end to end. You actually are seaming along one side. So your bind off edge is then seamed to the adjacent side of your cast on edge. So the provisional cast on could allow you, if you just want to then complete your finish different, but it wouldn't help you in the seaming. It wouldn't resolve the need to seam.
Yes, yeah. That's what gives it the poncho-like shape, where you've got a point on one side and a flat edge on the other side. So she's got it. She says, okay.
But that is a great question, because I am a big fan of eliminating any seaming anytime possible. And I tried 3 different ways of seaming before I ended on a crochet seam as my choice for this, because I tried them all and I wanted something fairly invisible, and so anyway, but you could really do any seam that's fastest or to your preference.
Awesome. Okay, back to your yarns.
All right. So if again, I said I did a lot of silk and linen with just a smidge of wool and nylon. So really right now, if I were recreating this, I would go with Cicero Broca or Malabrigo Cicero and Coastal. And so
just soak it in for a minute, people. It's just gorgeous.
So this is Wales Road, Cicero Wales Road. And thank you to Sarah to pointing this out, because I was gravitating towards something else that wouldn't have provided really any variety or contrast. And then she pointed this out and I was like, wait, where's that been? This is Hollyhock, also in Cicero. Teal feather. Yep, gotta have some teal. I don't know what to do without it. And then Coastal to kind of round out, if I'm just trying to take my variegated and pull out colors in it. And this is called Blueberry. So the blueberry from that. And then again, if you like take turns mixing them all together. But this would be the closest to kind of recreating what I have, which I love what I have. So
yeah,
yes,
gorgeous.
But I did grab a one too. So that's like a good multi-season, or if you wanted a lighter feeling. I also grabbed, if you were just doing worsted weight, this is Frida, which is newer to the store, and gorgeous, and hello, all the color change for you. You don't really have to think about it. So if you just wanted worsted weight yarn and just
go right through it
without holding together, and this is 06 and 08. I don't know
they don't have names.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
So 06 and 08.
That would be so fun.
And
I'm knitting with this right now.
Are you?
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah.
And then actually I did grab one more. I'm realizing, what project do you think I'm partial to? So if you were wanting to still hold yarns together, but you are going for a warmer item, you have cooler weather, cobblestone. And hello, anybody who did shifty or shifty knit along, if you have leftover sport weight yarns from that,
that's perfect.
Pull them together and you, I mean, yeah.
We planned it that way.
Exactly. Totally. Yes. Yes. So if you started with cobblestone and this one, the name's gonna be
Dragon's Breath.
Oh, hey! Now I'm even happier that I chose this. And Tosh Sport in Late in the Day, And it's just like you're going to pull out some of the gold tones, but then you're still going to add an additional kind of gray charcoal.
Speckly.
And then if you wanted to go a little bit lighter and keep picking out some of the pinks and reds, then this is Tosh Sport in Fragrant.
Very nice.
And so this would be another way if you wanted a warmer object for cooler weather to hold things together.
Love it. Love it.
Boy, I sure wish we had options.
I know, it's a
So
bummer
hard.
to just not have anything to choose from. Julia's here! Yay!
We miss you when you're gone, Julia.
I was doing double duty though.
Very well, too. Very well. All right.
Next.
I fell and I'm not getting hot at all.
into a burning ring of fire. All right.
Yes. In Nancy Marchand's book, which if you've taken any of my brioche classes, you know I reference this all the time and usually have a hard time showing pages because they're all stuck together because of my sticky notes and my reflective tape, the highlighter tape. It's been all over my book, even currently, and then you can still see all my things. But she has 5 brioche books, and this is the one I own and use all the stinking time and refer to it all the time. And when I need to figure out a cast on again or a different bind off, or I can't remember exactly how to do something, I come back to this book. So
did you give this book to me?
Yeah.
Yes. I was just gonna say,
I think everybody should have it.
Little side note. So sometimes, like if it's late at night and I don't have any energy left to knit, I want knitting, but I can't actually like get myself to knit. I pick this book up and I just page through it because
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's educational. The patterns are inspiring, and it's just like one of those books. You can just page through. There's little samples like stitch patterns, so you can actually make substitutions yourself if you wanted to. Like she talks about. It's a really good book. So if you don't own it, I highly recommend it. Absolutely worth adding to your library. We've got a link to it on our blog post.
I've made Miss B. Some of you have seen it, but mine is my colors are much different. I did not mark the page with Ring of Fire, of course, which is. So maybe I'll just show you mine.
Good idea.
Go from there. My Ring of Fire. I held sport weight yarn together with mohair, silk mohair in both colors. And so I have a Millefiori Light Luxe in here held with, and then I have a Silky Alpaca, which is a purple, but then they're both held with silk mohair's kind of purple and burgundy. So it just gives that. So it's actually the Luxe is what helps you see the actual design in it because my colors then stay fairly dark. And so then the other side stays pretty matte, more
purple.
Of a matte fish, and purple. But
this is the one that's going to tempt me second.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll encourage you. I'll cheer you on. We'll make sure it all happens. It's all going to happen. It is.
Ah!
Yes.
This is why I have friends like Ingrid.
Or why you maybe don't want friends like Ingrid.
No, always. Always.
And this one I did not grab yarns for.
Oh,
because
right.
I was running around the store grabbing all the yarns. And grabbed, of course, 3 for the poncho. And then, one had to get left out.
I did a kind of an unconventional combination. And so I have some more of the new Knitted Wit in the non-superwash in squad gourds. You totally are squad gourds. And then I've got a Barocco silk mohair blend Ariel in 34-33. So this is a very fall combo here, but I just thought it would be really pretty showing off that pattern. And I know that the pattern does call for sport weight. This is in the fingering range, and obviously this is, this is kind of like fluid. But I did see lots of people have done this pattern on Ravelry with a kid silk mohair just like this, and it's gorgeous.
It
so
is.
It's,
yes.
It's
well, and
still
as you
doable.
can see mine, like it hangs down, pretty long, and it is well, there's increases and decreases. It's knit in the round. There are increases and decreases, but you don't ever change the overall width of this. So it hangs like this, right? And you can see that it hangs down. So if you're somebody who doesn't like this much bulk and you'd rather have more of a cowl, then a fingering weight is probably going to help bring some of it back up. But yes, there are examples on Ravelry of people who've just knit both colors of a silk mohair, and it's gorgeous.
It's very ethereal, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that would make it multi-season and
for sure.
Cooler. This is not cooler. This I wear in the winter because it is.
We're headed to 95. Are you probably not wearing that today?
No, not for the rest of the day.
2 color changing balls Ingrid showed at the end of her choices for the triangular shawl. Oh, for the poncho. Yes.
Was it this?
Maybe. Cobblestone. Tosh Sport. I think those. Oh
Yes.
no, or maybe it could have been Frida. There we
Worsted
go.
Weight.
Worsted Weight. That's Frida by Lang Yarns.
Yes. And I think it's 100% wool, right? Yes.
It's in German.
Yes.
Yes.
Turning, yes.
100% wool.
I do have glasses on. You never know it.
Someone asked if they need to get both books. And that is totally up to you. If you're going to do one of the patterns, obviously you need to get the book that the pattern's in. But personally, I think we both feel pretty strongly they're great brioche resources. So I highly recommend having them on your shelf if you think you're interested in doing brioche, because they provide endless sources of not just patterns to follow, but especially Nancy's book also has stitch patterns that you can then take and create, you know, your own fun with the brioche stuff. So highly recommended, not required by any means.
No.
Unless you're knitting one of those patterns, and then yes, you do need the book. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good clarification.
Last one?
One more.
All right, one more.
Okay. So this is again from the Michelle Lee Bernstein book, Brioche Knit Love, that we showed at the beginning. But this is towards the end of the book, so she's kind of taking you on a progression of skills and techniques. And this is knit flat. It's called the Seagull Flight Shawl. I'm in the middle of it. So it starts off with some syncopated brioche here, and then you get into the seagull pattern. And so this is where then increases and decreases would start. And again, like I said, it is knit flat and with increases and decreases, why we kind of put it on the more challenging end of the projects. And so
Beautiful.
This is the other side. Yes, I'm loving it. So from here, it does another set of seagull flight, but in this right here, what you can't see is that the stitches have now been doubled. So I went from, I think it was like 180 some, and I now have like 200 or 80 some or something.
Is it kind
like
of a
that.
half circle shape?
It's actually, maybe, although I'm thinking this is a picture of her wearing it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know I saw it, but I can't remember
Yes,
it now.
and then she does have a picture holding it like out. A little
Oh
bit
yeah,
smaller,
so
but
it's like a crescent kind of, or a half circle shape. Oh, look at how beautiful that is.
yes, and it's like a wing, like she's holding it out like it's a wing of a bird. So totally,
Yes.
as soon as I saw this book, this was the pattern that I was like, gotta
Yeah.
have that, gotta do that.
Yeah.
And it's fingering weight yarn, and she even gives you tips on here for how to manage your yarn. So she even gives you a point when you're knitting where you can weigh your yarn to see how much you have left, and then calculate whether you have enough yarn to make her the full shawl as she's written it, or whether you need to stop at some point.
Cut bait.
Exactly. And there's a couple places where you can do that. But it also, even that being said, if you have like fingering weight yarn that's at 430 or more yards in your 100 grams, you would only need 2 balls. You'd need one of each color, and
Wow.
you can do the shawl. So yeah, it doesn't actually require as much yarn for as large as the shawl looks.
Yes. Okay, I'm really excited to show my combo because I don't know.
Because you'll be doing this one too.
Apparently, I'm really into knitted widths, non-superwash fingering. I totally didn't realize I picked it 3 times for these things, but I did. And so I've got here Oscar the Grouch. How great is that name?
So good.
And then the brand new to us Shopple Crazy in this kind of dark color. So I've gone really, really like wintry here, or fall at least. This colorway is $24.75. So this is going to stripe and change colors. I know it's a little dark for you to see. And then this would be my contrast to it, which is a slightly more intense green than the green that's in there.
And so appropriate for seagulls and beach.
Mm.
Like, it's called the Seagull Flight Shawl, so if you're thinking of the coast, which of course then I always do.
The coast in winter.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I review that? So, my first choice, this is Silky Blues by our own Lavender Sheep. And so this is Midnight Blue and
Perfect for that.
Winter Storm. And so you would have some contrast, but it wouldn't be drastic. And then I'm going to grab my noisemaker, if I can, because that's not annoying at all. And so this would be one of my choices. And the yarns I'm using are a silk wool blend, which I'm a sucker for that. So I love when
this
things
stuff
have silk.
This has such a good silk feel to it. It's I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost kind of buttery.
Yeah, like there's a texture.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
There's
But it's not knobby.
No.
Like when you get silk knobs and things.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's just lovely.
Just gorgeous.
And then I also, because I couldn't resist, this Bronze Age, I tell you what, someday I'll have to knit something in it because I gravitate towards it every time, but this is the Tosh Merino Light, and this is called Bronze Age. And I originally thought I was going to want antique lace, which is kind of a cream or off-white, but then once I got over there, I said, nope,
beautiful.
I wanted this. So it is peachy.
Oh my gosh.
And I think there were 2 skeins of peachy left, and I don't remember how many skeins of Bronze Age I saw when I was over there.
That's
but,
gorgeous.
It makes me want to cast on right. No!
It worked! It worked on yourself!
Yes! Oh wait, I think they all did. Because I need Frida on my needles, and I need some, yes.
Oh man, we're goofy. Okay, so we have gone through all 5 of the projects that we are highlighting for the knit along. Now granted, if you love brioche, you've got something you want to work on, you don't have to choose one of these by any means. Throughout the process of the knit along, Ingrid will be talking about various points of these patterns, but if you're comfortable with brioche and you just want to participate for the fun, by all means,
because who doesn't want a community?
Right? Join us.
Yeah.
It's just a fun way because we love brioche and we want to share our enthusiasm for the thing that we are so hot to do right now. But since we're kind of at the end of recapping like the projects, does anyone have any questions, whether it's about one of the ones we talked about or how it's going to work or anything?
Yarn.
Anything related to
Did we leave any questions left for yarn?
Do you need us to go pick all new yarn? Because we will.
Because we can.
I'll just give it a second here. I'm kind of watching. Maybe nobody has any questions. They're just all chomping at the bit, ready to go.
Yes, that's what we want.
I'll just recap really quick. Kickoff is Wednesday the 14th. It's 12 noon Pacific time. You'll need a Zoom link to join us. You get the Zoom link by signing up officially through our blog post. So scroll right on down to the bottom of the blog post. There's a link. It says, yes, I want to do this. It subscribes you to that specific mailing list. That's the list we will use to send out the Zoom links. It's also the list we'll use to send the coupon code that you need to get your 10% off.
Is Heidi telling us her
She says her book is in Pennsylvania.
Oh, you have time, but it would be hard for me to wait to get that in my hands.
I know. It's such a good book. It's such a good book. Yes. Fun shopping day today. Yay, Tracy. Yay, Tracy. Doesn't look like anybody has any questions, so fantastic. If you think of something later, by all means, please do email us. Julia was happy to answer, so I hope she is. I know she is.
She is now if she wasn't before, because
right.
we decided
I
so.
just told you she was. No, she always is. She's always happy to answer any questions, and she is really good at giving lots of great yarn options and detailed answers, so just reach out. It was great seeing you too, Sharon. Thank you all for tuning in and joining us. This is what we love to do most, really, truly. It's just like...
Grab all the yarns.
Grab all the yarns! Any final thoughts?
I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see all the projects you create and all the different yarns and all the different things. This is going to be my first time participating or facilitating a brioche knit along. So I'm quite excited for that because I do love brioche. Yeah. So
Queen of brioche right here. Which is why you're so good at teaching the class, seriously. I mean, if you think about it, teaching brioche via an online platform, it's not something most people would jump up to do, and Ingrid excels at it. You have many brioche graduates under your belt. You do.
Okay.
And that's a big thing. Like, a lot of people take brioche classes and never finish because they just, they fall off or whatever. Not true of Ingrid's graduates. So
very kind.
Yeah.
Very kind.
All right, everybody, we are going to sign off now, and I hope that you've enjoyed our little Gab Fest, and I'll see y'all next Tuesday. So,
Thank you.
ciao! Oh, I hit the button.